Hi everybody. Here in the today's video we are going to discuss about the valency. What is valency? What are the different definitions of valency and how to determine the valency? Tricks I am going to tell you in this video. Amongst the students of chemistry, it is a very common question, what is the valency? So let's listen the first definition of valency. Valency, the older definition of the valency is that it is nothing but the combining capacity of an element. So as to determine the combining capacity of an element, hydrogen was considered as a standard reference element. And with the example we can understand easily. For example, lithium hydride, LiH, lithium hydride, one molecule of lithium hydride. In one molecule of lithium hydride, one lithium atom combines with one hydrogen atom. That's why valency of lithium is 1. In case of calcium hydride, the formula is CaH2. Here, one molecule of calcium combines with one atom of calcium combines with two atoms of hydrogen. That's why valency of calcium is 2. Like this we can state aluminium hydride and CH4 methane, that is the marsh gas. What we are seeing here, one atom of aluminium combines with three atoms of hydrogen and there is a formation of stable compound. That's why valency of aluminium is 3. One atom of carbon combines with 4 atoms of hydrogen so as to form a stable compound. That's why valency of carbon is 4. Okay. So combining capacity of an element is the valency. So as to determine the combining capacity of an element, we should know how much atoms of hydrogens are attached with the single atom of element. So we know that in all compounds hydrogen is not present and that's why it is not applicable for all these elements. Isn't all these compounds, the definition is not applicable because all these are not having all compound didn't have a hydrogen. Okay. Now second definition is, but this definition is correct also. Okay. The second advanced definition is the number of chemical bonds formed by single atom of element in a given molecule. We call it as its valency. For example, here water, universal solvent, OH, H2O is the chemical formula. In water molecule we are observing oxygen atom is associated with the two chemical bonds. That's why valency of oxygen is 2 and hydrogen atom is involved in one chemical bond. Let's consider only one hydrogen atom. That's why valency of hydrogen is 1 there. Let's have example of ammonia gas where nitrogen atom is attached to the 3 hydrogen atoms. Nitrogen atom is involved in 3 chemical bonds. That's why valency of nitrogen is 3. Hydrogen atom, out amongst 3, here in this case we should consider any one of the hydrogen atom. Okay. So hydrogen atom, if we consider this hydrogen, it is involved in one chemical bond, or this, it is also involved in one chemical bond. So how we can define the valency? What is the second definition? Number of chemical bonds associated with the atom in a molecule. We call that total number of chemical bonds, we call it as its valency. So let's have example of chloroform, CHCl3. In chloroform, what we are seeing, carbon atom is involved in 1, 2, 3 and 4 chemical bonds. Hydrogen atom is involved in only one chemical bond and chlorine atom is involved in also one chemical bond. That's why valency of carbon is 4, hydrogen valency 1 and chlorine valency 1. Okay. Now the third most important advanced definition. Actually, see, what is the drawback of this definition? The drawback is that it is not easy to know the structure of all these molecules instantly, isn't it? Nowadays we have techniques like NMR, spectroscopy, we can determine, but it is not easy and it is not that much convenient to know the structure. Here we should know the structure, how many chemical bonds are there. Okay, that's why it is slightly difficult. So the third most advanced definition, which is widely applicable, that is we are going to discuss. The definition says that, third definition of valency says that valency is nothing but the number of electrons loosed, gained or shared by atom of an element. We call it as its valency. So how much electrons atom of element loses, gains or shares, that number of electrons we call it as a valency. Let's have an example of sodium its symbol is Na, its Latin name is natrium, that's why its symbol is Na. Atomic number 11, its first shell consists of 2 electrons, second shell consists of 8 electrons, and last shell of sodium consists of the 1 electron. Then sodium, so as to attain the stability as per the electronic theory of valency stated by Lewis and Cosell, in that octet rule is stated, as per the octet rule, atom of element should have a 8 electron in the last shell. So as to have a 8 electron in the last shell, sodium atom will lose its 1 valence electron and it will become Na plus 1 ion, and 1 electron is get loosed. Here the electronic configuration of Na plus 1 is 2, 8. Now it have a 8 electron in the last shell, it becomes stable. Simple question, how many electrons are loosed by sodium? Sodium loses 1 electron. That's why sodium loses 1 electron. That's why valency of sodium is 1. Okay, this is the one thing. Now second one. Now the second one is that gained. How much electrons are say another example of chlorine. Chlorine atomic number 17, electronic configuration is 287. So first shell of chlorine consists of 2 electrons, second shell 8 electron, last shell of the chlorine consists of 7 electrons. We know that as per the octet rule, atom will become stable if that atom of element having a 8 electron in the last shell. Here chlorine atom is having 7 electron. So chlorine atom is in short of 1 electron to complete its octet. Here, so as to complete its octet, chlorine atom is in need of 1 electron. So what will happen? This chlorine atom will gain 1 electron. It forms Cl minus chloride ion, that is 282. Okay, here we have a chloride ion. Now simple question, how much electrons are gained by the chlorine atom? Chlorine atom gains, yes, 1 electron to attain the stable electronic configuration. That's why valency of chlorine is, therefore valency of chlorine is, that is 1. Okay na, that positive electrovalency, negative electrovalency. See, number of electrons loosed, we call it as a positive electrovalency, it's a plus 1. And number of electrons gains, we may call it as a 1. That if valency is asked, we may call it as a 1, it is correct. And if it is asked what is the negative electrovalency, so in the specific case we may answer it's a minus 1, because number of electrons gained, that is the negative electrovalency. Now the last one, number of electrons shared. For example, methane molecule, that is the marsh gas. Okay, in marshy land, muddy land it is observed. Methane having a formula CH4. In case of methane, carbon atomic number 6, electronic configuration 2,4. Hydrogen atomic number 1, electronic configuration 1. Carbon having a 4 electrons in the last shell. These 4 electrons of carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4 I mentioned here. And there are the 4 hydrogen atoms, each hydrogen atom having a 1 electron in its last shell. So these are shown like this. So already carbon having a 4 electrons in the last shell, and we know that atom will become stable if that atom of element having a 8 electron in the last shell. So here these carbon shares its 4 electron with the 4 hydrogen atom, and 4 hydrogen atom shares their 4 electron with the carbon. Now carbon its own 4 electron and 4 are shared by the 4 hydrogen atom. In this way, the total number of electrons in the outer shell of carbon are 8. 4 its own and 4 electron are of the 4 hydrogen atom. What about hydrogen? Hydrogen atom having its own 1 electron and 1 electron is shared by the carbon atom. In this way, hydrogen atom having a 2 electrons in its valence shell. Okay now, so we call it as a duplet rule, which is applicable for the hydrogen, helium and lithium only. If the atom of element of that hydrogen, helium and lithium having 2 electrons in its valence shell, it becomes stable. So hydrogen also will become stable and this also become stable. Now our main question, how much electrons are shared by the carbon? Carbon shares its 1, 2, 3 and 4 electrons. That's why valency of carbon is 4. How much electrons are shared by hydrogen? This hydrogen is sharing 1 electron, this hydrogen is sharing 1 electron. So each hydrogen atom is sharing 1 electron. That's why valency of hydrogen atom is 1. So this is the very important definition. And the last part, a trick I am going to tell you, that how to determine, when you will learn the periodic classification, elements in group wise. So you will be able to state how many electrons in the last shell of an atom of element. So what's the trick? The trick is that we should know which element belong to which group and how many electrons are there in the last shell of that group's element. And one more important thing, the concept of valency is applicable significantly dominantly for the representative elements. Representative elements are the elements which belong into group number 1, group number 2, that are the S block elements, and group number 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. These are the P block elements. S block elements 1 and 2 group, P block elements group 13 to 18. These are the representative elements. For them, concept of valency is dominantly applicable, isn't it? So that's why we should know which elements are present in first group. So here there is a hydrogen, then lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. Second group consists of beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, and there is a radium. Here there is a boron, aluminium, gallium, indium and thallium. Group 14 consists of carbon, silicon, germanium, tin and lead. 15th group element, that is the nicogens, nitrogen family elements, consist of nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony and bismuth. Group 16 elements are which one? Oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium. These are the chalcogens or group 16 elements. Group 17 elements are the halogens, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine and astatine. These halogens are there in the group 17. Group 18 elements are the zero group elements. Here we have a helium family elements, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon and newly discovered oganesson. Okay, here all these last line 7th period elements are the radioactive one, livermorium, moscovium, neomium, like this newly discovered elements are there. Here once we know which elements are present in the corresponding group, second thing, valence electron. So don't forget, first group elements having 1 electron in the valence shell, last shell. Second group elements consist of 2 electrons. 13th group consists of 3 electrons. 14th group 4, 5, 6, 7 and here 18th group elements having an 8 electron in the last shell. Now, so as to attain the stability, just now we saw the example of sodium will lose 1 electron. In the same way, all these elements having 1 electron in the last shell, so as to attain stability they will lose their 1 valence electron. That's why valency of all these elements, first group elements, is 1. These are the alkali metals except hydrogen. All these having a valency 1. Group second elements, these are the alkaline earth metals, and these elements having 2 electrons in the last shell. To attain stability they will lose their 3 valence electron, and that's why their valency is 3. Here these elements, 13th group elements, will lose 3 electrons and attain stability. They'll get a stable electronic configuration. That's why their valency is 3. Here group 14 elements having a 4 electrons in the last shell. We saw the example of methane where carbon shares its 4 valence electron. That's why valency of carbon is 4. In the same way, all these will show valency 4. Now group 15 elements, these have a 5 electrons in the last shell. So what will happen here in this case? In this case, group 15 elements having a 5 electrons in the last shell, and they'll gain the 3 electrons and they'll become stable, isn't it? They'll gain the 3 electrons, they'll become stable. Group 16 elements having a 6 electrons in the last shell. Group 16 elements having a 6 electrons in the last shell, and they'll gain 2 electrons. Okay, now 6 plus 2 electron, and they'll become stable. So we know that number of electrons gained is known as its valency. Group 17 elements having a 7 electrons in the last shell. So they'll gain 1 electron. They are in short of 1 electron. They'll be stable by gaining 1 electron. That's why their valency is 1. All these elements having 8 electron in the last shell, they are the 0 valent. And exception is of helium, which having a 2 electron in the last shell. But all these elements neither lose nor gain electron, group 18 elements. So that's why their valency is 0. Last thing, if the element having valency 1, we call these are the monovalent. If they show valency 2, these are the bivalent. If they show valency 3, we call them as a trivalent. If they show valency 4, these are the tetravalent. Okay. So broad idea, if there is a question, what is valency of aluminium? So instantly we can respond. valence shell of aluminum consists of 3 electrons, its valency is 3. What is valency of magnesium? It's a 2. Valency of sulfur, it's a 2. So here this is about the major valency. Okay, sometime what is the question, that phosphorus shows valency 3, but sometime it shows valency 5 also. Actually it depends upon next concept, oxidation number. So that's why I don't want to extend that part here. This is all about the valency. See, this is the major valency of all these one. So let's summarize the things. First of all, what we learned today, combining capacity of an element is known as valency. Hydrogen is considered as a standard reference for determination of combining capacity. Secondly, number of bonds formed by atom of element. Number of bonds formed by atom of element in a given molecule or compound, that is the valency. We saw example of H2O, NH3. That number of chemical bonds, that's the valency. And third advanced definition is which one? Number of electrons loosed, gained or shared by atom of an element. So that is the valency. Okay, bye all of you. Thank you.